That took forever.
Alright, everybody, welcome back. We are going to be casting another set from the round of 32 here. This one will be between Hannibal Barca and Pieterdela. So we are going to take a quick look here in a second. If I can pull up the right page. There we go. And give you guys a quick glance at the civilization draft here. Uh, Longbow Kidney Stone must be Hannibalbarca, and Peter Della is obviously over here. So we have Mayans, or Mayans. There's Mayans, Franks, Chinese, Tatars available for Pitar. Picked Mongols got sniped, banned Burgundians, and then Hannibal Barca got Berbers, Khmer, Lithuanians, Magyars, Pictons, which were sniped. I don't know why you snipe Huns there. I think you sniped Lithuanians or Berbers, in my opinion, but and he banned Persians. So interesting Civ draft. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, best of three. First game is on Battlegrounds, and I'm gonna load into 5 seconds.
I'll be waiting. I'm already waiting for you.
Already
You're,
waiting.
you're slow.
Lots to do. Lots to do.
Who do we have in chat tonight? Who
Uh,
we
Hitch
who we
is the only
got?
one hyping it up in chat right now, so.
3 viewers. 3 viewers. Come on. Don't be shy.
Alright, ready? Three, two, one, go. Alright, so Berbers, not a surprise here. Definitely one of the top picks for this map. With Chinese on the other side here for Pieterdela. Chinese, a Civ we haven't seen a lot of, though one of the best Civs in the game, being very much a jack of all trades.
Yeah, I
Mendo,
definitely.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I definitely feel like there's a better maps for Chinese and Battlegrounds, but I don't see them struggling to find something to do on Battlegrounds.
Yeah, I think they're great on a lot of maps. I would have preferred them in a few others on this map pool, but I mean, even with Battlegrounds, it's not a bad position. Obviously, being able to go into scouts early with the eco behind this, starting with the additional vills, also a big bonus if you have your build down here. We'll have to see if Peter Dele has his down. He's gonna have to build a house very soon, or he will be housed pretty directly. But on the other side, Hannibal Barca has a Vil dropping his wood on lumber camp already. Things looking pretty clean. Still need that house here. I think we're gonna see Peter Della lose any sort of villager lead he had here, which he's already tied. Yeah, idle TC now. 4 vills trying to rush down the house. A little bit sloppy on the build. The correct build to start with Chinese is to send all 6 of your original villagers to food and send the 7th to build the house.
Well, aren't you just so knowledgeable?
Everyone says the Chinese build is really hard, but that's really just all you have to do at the start to keep your villager advantage. So I like playing them myself. Honestly, this matchup though, I favor Chinese heavily. Chukanus are amazing if we ever see them, but even just having a full stable for Pieterdela, cheaper tech costs, starting with the villagers is always nice, although he has already foregone that bonus. But we'll see
Yeah.
what happens with him here.
You have forgotten about, but I favor Berbers working until Imperial Age. I think once you get to Imp post Imp, uh, Chinese are going to shine over the Berbers, but the cheap stable for Berbers can allow such mass in Castle Age.
Yeah, that's true. Something to look out for. And I mean, one TC, 3 stables, pretty common with Berbers. Much easier to maintain production that way. Both players have gone out to the center here. Unfortunately, Peter has not really taken a massive advantage of that. He's kind of scouted back at home now, but he did grab a few. And then Hannibal is still out there grabbing more, sending them forward. And we have a villager already coming out here for Hannibal, going very, very far away for this boar. It's been very interesting to see how far players are willing to go here for the boars. Loom is on its
Yeah.
way in, so he will be hitting it, running, and he will receive Loom during this lore.
I mean, makes a lot of sense. You get the food in. It's idle time. There's some risks involved. Um, but it's a lot of food. I'd almost like to be curious to see some players start to use their scouts to interfere with these long distance vil lures. So
Yeah, and he's actually going out for yet another one on the northern side. So, going to try to bring in 3 boars, 2 with Vils. But on the other side, we have a mill, and he went to berries at first, but he is now switching on to hunt. And he's investing heavily with 7 Vils out in the
I
mill.
ILTC for Peter.
Does he not have
I
food under the
mean,
TC? He does, just had to drop it off, it looks like.
yeah, but he's fallen a vil behind it, and that's with Hannibal having gone for Loom already there.
Yeah, it's rough start here. I mean, Chinese build started a little rough to begin with, getting housed there for quite a bit of time. It
Yeah,
was able to get Loom as well, so
Peter going heavy onto the 8 villagers on the hunt in the middle.
yeah, Hannibal does have 1 Vil that's been sitting idle over here by this monk for quite some time. So
Oh,
he
how did
is
he get a
1
monk
Vil up.
already?
He is 1 Vil up, but he had that over there for quite a
Wait,
while.
wait, where's the monk?
The villager. Did I say monk?
You said there was a villager by the monk.
Villager by the boar. Jeez. I'm losing my mind. Sorry, apologies. But
No, 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 no.
both players sitting in a decent position. I think we wanted to see the click here from Peter already, but he dropped off all the food and still short. So he's going to be behind a good bit here on the way up to feudal. Has the food. There he goes. Also shifting immediately onto gold and more wood, so we'll expect it to be archers at this point. Not going to have a whole lot on food other than the vills in the middle here.
Yeah, but I mean, 8 vils on hunt isn't nothing.
No, it's not bad, but I think with his shift at home, instead of going ahead and taking berries at home or the rest
Yeah,
of those
it's
sheep, it's
archers,
archers
right?
all the way.
All
Hannibal having
right.
a nice little wall off here for himself, but he is going to be walling out some of his resources if he's not careful.
Both of his golds, both of his stones. Looking like he's thinking better of it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to wall out to them at least. They will be reachable. Still a rough position to be in there. Militia on the field here for Peter, so maybe that's why he was so far behind going up here.
Yeah, only 2 idle villagers on the hunt in the middle, unfortunately for him. What's the purpose of these 2 militia? I mean, they can slow this wall, I suppose. And that might buy time for archers that we want to see, but there's also no range coming up, and he has plenty of wood.
It will actually be man at arms. He
Yeah,
needs to
look at
go
that.
hit now. There's still
Yeah, this
holes
is
in
the
this
issue.
wall.
He
Scout
delayed
does
there.
get in there. Oh, perfectly timed. Man at arms not in yet, so he's probably not going to get them. Nope, not even going to get a kill. But
You can run under the teeth. Um,
uh,
loop around to the wood line at least, guy. Come on.
yeah, I mean that was nice though. He has applied some pressure. He will be sending those back in, and there's
This
fills on the
build is
berries right there too, so he should see
yeah.
those.
This build is so weird. Why does he not have a range up now?
Oh yeah.
He still doesn't have a range followed up behind this would be nice, but he's waiting for another man at arms. Look at
Uh,
all this wood. He's floating 700 wood.
yeah, a really awkward build here.
Needs farms or archers or preferably both.
Yeah,
And there come a
Hannibal
couple farms.
Hannibal doing a lot of idols here as well though. Very strange. He actually added that third man-at-arm, which is awkward, and was waiting for it to go in there.
Yeah,
He,
but now he's going to face 4 scouts. It's not going to be great.
no,
And he's
it's
going to go
it,
downhill, and he's going to be fighting uphill.
yeah, he's just gonna run with the scout. I think that's the right move. But now, as you alluded to, where's the archery range? Gonna
Yeah, this
play
is.
defensive spears in the middle on those fills, which is nice. At least he will try to protect those. But
Yeah, with the time that he had, there's no reason he couldn't have had 4 or 5 archers up there. In which case, that fight with the scouts becomes a much different thing.
well, not even any farms down either. So he's relying solely on the
No.
food in the mid, which is a lot to ask for such an exposed resource.
Well, and
There
the
comes
real
the farms.
issue is that he has 600 food, 600 wood. It's just he's not spending his resources.
Yep, and Hannibal, is he on his way up? No.
Not yet, but not even close. He still has
Yeah, he's dropping a lot of
no
farms,
food.
so he won't be too far away. On the other side, though, only 2 farms. I mean, for Peter, he only has what on food? How many? 13 on food?
Yeah, I mean 14 to 13.
Looks
So
like
it's
it'll be a house at an archery range in the middle.
which is good. It's just way too late. I mean, he could have punished him so much. The men-at-arms, the militia men-at-arms blocked out things. Archers could have got in, and it could have been brutal for Hannibal.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
scouts are finally moving out here for Hannibal. He was kind of a little passive with them, and he is
Well, he was
continuing to
fighting in the
move.
middle. He lost 2.
Yeah, he is going to loop around this time, and honestly, looping around at home. Woodline looks like it might be walled up by the time he gets here. Still not a great exchange here. Spear going to be attacking the scout from downhill. That scout will go down. I feel like this is
Very
very,
open.
very awkward play from both here. Now we have double range in the middle for Peter.
I don't hate the double range. I just hate that it wasn't 5 minutes ago. He's been floating so much wood and so much gold.
Yeah, feels
I don't
weird.
like this. Look at these idle scouts for Hannibal. Come on, man. He's producing more and more. He has 6 on the field. He's making more. 3 is enough to go in and hurt somebody.
Yeah. And in the time that
Skirmishers
he
coming
has
out. That's
not got in, he's not going to be able to hit the wood line now.
exactly. Skirmishers are in for Hannibal though, so I don't know if he saw the archers or if he's just anticipating it. He did not see them, but so good sense for him to realize the archers are going to be coming shortly.
Yeah, the scouts seem like a total waste right now, though, because 6 of them on the
They're not,
field not doing anything. It's an expensive cost for a military unit you're not using.
yeah, six scouts. I mean, he wants to use them against the archers here in the middle, I guess, or in the villagers in the middle. So he just decided that rather than no, because he's only got 3 attacking in the middle, 3 idle. Um,
Yeah, he's going to bring the 3 in from the opposite side. They might find a little bit of value here, but the spears and archers are here as well.
yeah, it's,
Awkward area to fight in right here.
it's just awkward the plan here. I think he would have been much better off sending all these scouts Peter's base as he continued the mass skirms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike what he's doing, though. He's, like, pressing the militaries, and he has a great exchange here if he just takes the fight and brings in his scouts from both sides. He will clean up this army.
Yeah, skirms are soaking up a lot of fire here.
Yeah, Spears out of position, only one at the beginning of this fight, and honestly, this might be the GG right here if this if all these vills go down.
How would this be the GG?
Well, you're talking about what 7, 8 vills out here, all about to
Um,
die.
uh,
He's already down
well,
by 3.
okay, well they shouldn't have died. This is just a lack of a reaction. That's why that's why I was confused by it. But I guess if you just leave them there to die, then that might be a reason to GG.
Yeah, I mean he is gonna turn and fight it, but at least another 2 vills will go down here. Not microing them either. At least the spear's there now. So it did not lose all of them, but lost half of them out in the front. Hannibal with a very nice lead. Dropping a market now,
Very,
probably gonna
and
balance the eco.
Hannibal just got bloodlines in after all of his scouts died. Like both players, they just feel cold maybe. Like it's just very awkward play from both.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're trying to buy Castle Age from Hannibal.
Yeah, he'll be there in a second. Just need to sell some wood, buy a little bit of food. Military numbers heavily in favor of Peter now, but Castle Age coming in. Probably 2 knights clean this. Behind this, the eco 5 villagers less here for Pieterdela, and honestly still very open at home. Nothing on the gold. He's got rid of all the palisades. All his wood lines are about to be overdropped here. It will be skirmisher knight play here.
You know, and I maintained my position before. Berbers have the advantage here in Castle Age. This is where they're going to shine, and Peter certainly hasn't done any damage to slow that down at this point.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna open with what he's gone with these archers, which were very delayed to begin with, you have to open with that and actually get on it as quickly as possible to be able to fend off just straight scouts.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think he had a great opportunity when he got the block the walls. If he had his range up on time, and like, once again, the key here is he had the res for it. It wasn't that he couldn't; he didn't.
Yep.
And he could have won the game in feudal age there, which would have been great. Um, rather than trying to face off against Berbers and Castle Age, where you're automatically going to be behind, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
3 stables, only 2 that are going to produce, but 2 of them will clean up all this military. Maybe not now because there's a bunch of spears in the field, but probably a much better position for him.
Yeah,
Especially,
but
he could just counter too and do even more damage to the eco.
yeah, but it's a case here where Hannibal has very small time to get something out of this lead to Castle Age
Yeah, I
because it's
love this.
reasonable.
Love the town center position here.
Oh, yeah, great town center. But it's reasonable to think that as soon as Peter gets up here in a minute, he is going to go for pikes, which will kind of blunt some of that force. So I want to see these knights going out now. Like we see one knight going to hit these vills in the middle, perhaps. Come on. A lot of 3 weak vills here that could die if he's paying attention.
Yep, and he is gonna get him, and the
Boom,
vills
boom,
will
boom, boom, boom,
all
boom,
go down here. It looks like
boom.
one will be saved potentially, but still, one
Uh,
knight sniping 3 is pretty massive.
and that's beautiful. Get out there like that. I think we've seen a lot of people get up a little bit earlier to feudal age, a little bit earlier to castle age in these games, but not really taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and archer numbers are pretty math now. So are the pike numbers. But honestly, if +2 comes in and skirmishers with that, I think that even with Chinese, he's gonna struggle.
Yeah, but only 5 spearmen here. Pike hasn't been clicked in. I think you're facing Berbers. You want a few more, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and it will actually be a defensive siege workshop and a 3 town center play here from Hannibal. You know, Peter doing a great job though with all this middle control, and he's really got a lot of the map vision, so he's not going to be in a terrible position. Mangonel will be coming out of this, and that could spell trouble, but it looks like he's going to back away anyways. Second
now,
town center for
and,
Pieterdela coming up now. It's
yeah,
not in
but
the middle.
no, but he is getting a siege workshop up forward, so that could be helpful to deal with these mangonels he's going to be expecting.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
if they get denied.
Nah, Spears will take care of that. He's gonna take a big shot though. Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, archers are pretty exposed here, but there's a decent number of spears as well. So he's actually trying to block the knights to prevent them from running away. That was a really nice exchange for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's something to be said about having a little bit less eco, but having a massive lead in the military at this point. Like, it's not the strategy that most go for, but
Yeah.
playing
The
archers,
the
it's
big
not bad.
issue for Peter right now is where does he pressure with this military? He's got to get siege up because these TCs are just so well placed to defend this base.
Yeah, it's something we haven't talked about much with Battlegrounds is you kind of have to push from the side, so you're on the hill. You know, the
Yeah.
dip in the center making it a little bit awkward here. Scorpion's going to be coming in now, going to get some really good shots off if Pieterdela's not careful. Mangonel will be
Magna,
very exposed as well. Low knight numbers, gonna take some decent exchanges though, even with just +1 right here. It really needs the pikeman.
he really does, and the tech still isn't in.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. He's just going full archers at this point, it looks like. Another Mangonel here in the center, likely gonna go down. Just not protecting the siege very well here either. It's an out of position. Third town center here coming up for Peter in the middle. Ville's starting to get away, and the military numbers will start to catch up here for Hannibal. He has the economy to support the 3 TCs.
Has the economy to support it? It's also worth knowing maybe 6 military 22, but 6 knights compared to 22 archers that are and a lot of weak archers. So
Yeah, really needs to get the pikeman if he's going to go this route. +2 will be in very soon for Hannibal, and these archers won't stand much of a chance.
come
Big
on,
Mangonel
shot,
shot.
shot. Ooh, nope. Big letdown shot.
Yeah, he's doing a good job microing here.
Yeah, but the knights
Oh,
are going to take advantage of him being separated. Big shot.
yeah, another Mangonel here. Gonna go down for Pieterdela. Oh no, it's gonna. Can't make up its mind. Blocks with crossbows. Not the worst exchange here, but still, I
Kills
think
a deer.
he gets
Oh
cleaned up.
no. Innocent deer going down in the crossfire.
Yeah, this is a nice exchange. The numbers for Pete are really dropping now, and the night production is streaming nicely.
I mean, this is what I was talking about. The cheaper bonus for Berberus makes all the difference in Castle Age.
Yeah. Castle coming for Hannibal on the TC in the middle here.
Oh, that's good. I mean, it's 2 golds, 2 stones.
Oh,
That it.
and he is making sure this is going up, sending a ton of vills.
I might say too many,
Oh,
especially considering his current lead.
definitely too many. Way too many.
Um,
This is like 30 vills.
32. It is 32 villagers.
Yep. He's gonna say get out of this area. He
I
wants to
mean,
confirm
you know
stuff.
what? If he throws up a TC or some mining camps and takes 2 res, it's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, I like it though. Making sure you get it up is never a bad thing. GG comes in. Pieterdela feeling like he's too far behind here after not being able to keep his mass alive and letting Berbers
Yeah,
take advantage of that cheap stable cost.
I don't know exactly what was going on for Peter here, but it felt like a lack of sense of urgency in feudal age. If he had dropped an archery range when you expect to see an archery range dropped,
Hmm.
and been putting archers forward when he had blocked the walls, he could have put Hannibal massively behind.
Yeah, absolutely. But GG's, well played. Hannibal taking game number 1 here. We will now move on to the home map of Pieterdela.
I haven't seen this in a while.
There's no Mad Hubs, isn't it?
It is.
Yep, that's what I thought. All right. Nomad Hubs. Interesting civ selections. I am at 5 seconds when you are. Let me know.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. Franks for Pieterdela versus Khmer for Hannibal. Khmer, obviously, a very good farming civilization. Good cav, good elephants, crazy good scorpions. It'll be interesting to see what we see here. But, ooh, look at this, though. Starting town centers very close to each other.
Um. Oh yeah, that's gonna get awkward quickly.
Yeah, and I think they'll both have it pretty okay for a while. I like Pieterdela's a little bit better because of the additional gold there for himself, but in feudal, it's not really going to make much of a difference. However, one tower could be quite annoying here on this wood line if
Yeah,
that
definitely.
happens.
Yeah, definitely prefer Peter's position. He has more access to food, more access to rest of all kind. Um, in feudal age and early castle, Hannibal's going to be kind of locked in with only 2 tiles of gold and a wood line. Um, much better positioning starting out, I think, for Peter, especially like you said, a tower there could be devastating and easy to pull off. So it's
Yeah.
going to be the name of the game is going to be whether Hannibal can get out and take some map control.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We have Hannibal shooting the boar nice and early here to get that in under his TC first, so not going to lose a villa in. He's going to be in an okay position. Still not producing villagers right now, though.
Yeah, Peter going to berries first. Very odd decision when you're right next to deer, and he just shot a deer with his down center.
Oh. I'm guessing he misclicked that, but
Yeah, but generally, I mean, if the deer are that close, you don't want to go in berries until you have to.
I
Hunt
agree.
being much faster.
Yeah, he does have a few turkeys scouting, same as Pieterdela does, or Hannibal does, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out for him. But nonetheless, starting positions so close. This is probably the closest we've had these TCs come up on a Nomad so far.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the scouting that Hannibal is getting out of these geese are going to be huge because, like I said, he's going to be starved for resources if he doesn't expand. So, getting out there on the left early and seeing what there is to find is going to matter so much.
Yeah, and Peter Deli doing the same thing here, just scouting south, and he has found some additional gold stones. Wood probably going to be his most annoying resource at this point because he can't really go to the
Uh,
north.
we have
But
Hannibal in chat. That's Bilbo Pamps, I believe. That's from what he was saying about the Vills on the last game.
yep,
I want to comment that just like everything I've ever heard is that Hunt is still faster for Franks than their berries, right?
from what I understand, yes.
Yeah, that's what I've always understood. Obviously the berries are better for the Franks than they would be for anyone else. But Hunt still should be faster, from what I understand.
Yeah,
Ask
and
Spirit to Law.
Spirit of the Law. Yeah, yeah. Let me get right on that. Give him a call. But no, I think regardless, getting on hunt is always preferable for me. The berries are just something that you can easily use at any time. You don't have to use them even that
Well,
early. If there's hunt, I
that
always go to hunt. So
and that's another point is Hunt. Hunt is a little more micro intensive, versus berries is kind of hands off. So it makes sense to want to do that while you have the extra energy earlier on.
that's true.
I would like to, uh, honestly, the food situation. I'd almost want to see Hannibal. There's 5 geese down here. I think he should. It's worth sending a Vil down to get those pretty soon
Yeah, for
on the right
500
corner.
and something food because these have 110 on it. So
Yeah, exactly.
definitely worth
550
it.
food. Versus Hannibal, there's two geese up in the top corner, but two geese it's a little harder to justify that idle time possibly right now. But for
Agreed.
five, definitely worth it.
Yeah, but I think with the Frank bonus on berries, he's also taken a boar and 3 out of his 4 deer because he killed the one. So I think he's not super worried about food income at the moment, but it would be really nice if he could go snag those.
Yeah, it's just going to be in a minute here. He's using the last deer, and he's going to have potentially 14 vills on these berries. He's going to quickly need another food source with 14 frank vills on one set of berries, and he is going for them. So
Yep,
he's thinking the same way we are.
sending it out. Now, one nice thing for Hannibal is he is going to be able to wall up this side here, and he did lose a turkey early on here down where Pieterdela is, so I believe he does have an idea of where his opponent is.
And that is good for him. The big vulnerability is going to be a tower, and we've been beating this point to the death. We haven't seen as many towers as we should have in this tournament overall. Um, a tower from Peter would be huge in this game. I'm just hoping we see it.
Yeah, important thing to note though, Hannibal is going to go militia very early. Rather than go up, he's going to drush, and I think this could be because he knows where his opponent is and he wants to buy himself some time. No, on this map I
Yeah,
don't
but
think a drush is all that great because you're
it's
starting and staying around the TC.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. There's nothing vulnerable here. Um, oh yeah, there's nothing to hit.
Yeah.
So you could potentially see Frank scouts here to clean up this militia before Hannibal can get to feudal age, depending on how this goes.
Yeah, Hannibal does send a Vil way out here to collect these turkeys, it looks like, to the left, and actually mine 10 zone isn't bringing it back home.
I
Very
mean,
awkward position for that one.
it is weird because he only got the one goose. He could have got another one. He could get the one from the top. It almost feels like a misclick of some kind.
Yeah, definitely. But, Drush, not really paying off. I don't think it really caused much but a few palisades and a house, like we were talking about. Doesn't do a lot of damage here, so I guess at best he can use it for scouting, and if I ever have something left like that, I like to try to put it on a gold near my opponent, just in case I can get lucky later in the game.
Yeah, I
But
mean, honestly, and even patrolling from these berries down to the edge of the map just to disrupt any villas that try to go out for more res. You already have them. Do something like that to get some additional value later on.
well, you can
But
also
here's the thing: stable coming up for Peter, and it'll still be a minute and a half before Hannibal's in. So scouts could come out and pressure this or a tower. I'd love to see a tower, but we're not going to. We never get the towers we want.
no, a couple towers here could destroy the eco for Hannibal, like no question. But
He'd be completely off stone. He'd have to run. This is the thing. The power of this tower is it would put him off stone, it would put him off gold, put him off food. He'd have to run with all his vills, which would then be vulnerable to the scouts that you're making.
yep, scouts are out, and he doesn't know where his opponent is.
Oh no, that explains so much. Oh,
Yeah,
oh no.
militia came from the north, and he has not gone up there and checked. So
He should have seen that though. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I assumed he did because he should know from where the militia came.
yeah, I thought the same thing, and unfortunately he does not. But scout is forward here, so hopefully he decides to send one north, which he is, but he's going around because the walls are there. So I don't know when he'll see it, but he'll find it up here eventually. Yeah, there he's
It looks
using a
like he'll find
house.
it right now.
Very, very nice to get in the scouts in this map. You don't see. No, the farm that you see in that point of view is from Startingville, and that's a spec bug. You practice towers, and it's tough because. Oh yeah, it's tough, but one tower here denies like this entire wood line.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it tower rush as a strat here, but tower rush just to brutalize Hannibal here.
Just one tower, that's all it takes sometimes. Vil does get sniped, but a scout goes down and a
And,
lot of HP on the others
right,
here.
it's a
Spears are
combination
the
here.
key play. Man-at-Arms are going to be in here too. Yeah, it
Yeah,
messes him up. It throws him into a panic sometimes as well,
yeah.
and
Well, the
more
key,
mistakes are made.
yeah, and the key with this position is you have scouts out, so the Vil's going to run out and have to fight scouts or die to scouts.
Yep.
So that's the combination. It's not just towers here.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of pressure there. No Vills going down, but well, trying to wall these wood lines at this point not really worthwhile. But
No,
uh,
honestly, I think Peter should be looking to getting on one of the main wood lines here
I
at this
agree.
point in the game.
Scouts will come back. The spear did go down to the town center, so scouts will likely take this fight. Will lose this fight with the low HP. And actually, Vills are headed out here for Pieterdela right now. And he's going to berries, of course. But he will be able to drop a lumber camp on that wood line if he so chooses as well. Archers coming out now. Nice addition for
Yeah,
Hannibal, seeing as it's going to be pretty easy to counter these low numbers of scouts.
yeah. So this is a situation here. Without a tower, Franks have nothing they can do practically against this wood line, against this farm eco, against this gold. Um, so the safe eco for Hannibal is going to be able to make these spears and archers all day long at this point.
Yeah, and I don't like what he's doing. Pieterdela hasn't done much with his scouts. He's finally dropping an archery range, but I don't know. It feels like a rough build here. And this is part of the point we've talked about a few times. Where is it better to start on this map? Is it better to start on one of these wood hubs, or is it better to start on a gold hub or a food hub? And it's really like an awkward balance. I don't know
Yeah, I mean, my
which is better
personal
yet.
position, I favor starting off of a wood hub. I think how people have played it, I think a wood hub's better. But I think a wood hub TC is so easily punished by a tower
Yeah, that's
that
true.
it's risky.
That's true. It's unfortunate that Hannibal's lost quite a few vills to this town center. Or not vills, but spears. As he almost lost two more there. Skirmishers are out on the field
You
though.
know, also big here is look, Hannibal has not seen this eco on the left for Peter. Stuff that's escaped the berries, the farms, the mine. So he's probably feeling a lot more confident about his position than he should be.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing for him, Peter, I mean, is he's actually expanded out pretty far now, and he's got gold out there even farther. So even if he gets hit at home, he can just garrison and still have some res coming in. Castle Age time's going to be very interesting for both here. Uh, 500, almost 600 food, 350 gold for Pieterdela, but Hannibal, only 200 food, 64 gold right now.
I just, how long will I be stuck on this tower situation? I mean,
Until we
but
see it, we've talked about it on Battlegrounds for roughly 30 sets, and we've only seen one tower in Battlegrounds. That was forward.
like, think how awkward this become for Hannibal. Still, like we're looking at Castle Ages coming in for Peter, but still, like, where does he go for wood after that? There's a couple tiny wood lines in the north, but all of the wood is so far from him.
Yep. Yeah, scout or spears have no upgrades either, so, or not spears, but skirmishers have no upgrades. Would like to see at least the defense upgrade on them.
Yeah,
Blacksmiths
but
can
I
be
mean,
rushed down now.
right, but it's also your Franks. Maybe he's counting on the fact he's halfway to Castle Age. He's just got to hold long enough to get knights out.
Yeah, knights will be spectacular here, and looks like Hannibal will finally see this little bit of eco here for his opponent. Looks like one Vil should die here. Yeah. I like that Peter's trying to do everything he can to get these spear numbers out of here, since he will be adding knights himself. Nice to take care of those. Not really too worried about the
Yeah.
archers.
So lots of look at tons of farms dropping here for Hannibal. He's getting ready to try to get up to castle himself, but there's going to be a window here for Peter where he's got the lead with these. He needs a second stable at least though. Oh, actually, he needs something on food. He only has 4 on food. Never mind. He can't produce knights if he wanted to.
Yeah, really awkward timing here. And fighting with his villagers, you're gonna lose quite a few of them here. Scouts for Hannibal coming in clutch with the archers. One knight out. No
Yeah, great
upgrades on the
move.
knight either.
Great move to mix in archers when he saw he was facing pure skirm, the Frank player there. Or some mix in scouts.
Yep. Yeah, and one knight will be good enough to suffice for now. Khmer with that lovely bonus not needing a mill. I keep looking at these farms. I'm like, oh, wait for all these villas to walk back, but it's Khmer.
He's still building mills though.
Is he? Well, there you go, Hannibal. Don't build mills unless you're on berries. That's funny. But the production behind this for Pieterdela, not great.
Yeah, I'm
Castle Age clicked as well for Hannibal. And at this point, it's just lack of food.
yeah, and it's only going to get worse here because Hannibal's going to get up. He's going to have a huge, significant eco lead. He's already,
Yep.
9 ahead.
Yeah, and he's going infantry upgrades already with scale barding or scale mail armor coming in. So it's gonna be pike archers. It looks like.
Yeah, and it's hard to complain about that here from the Khmer player.
Yeah, it's not normally what you would see from Khmer. Khmer can go Arbaleth, but I believe they're lacking Bracer or something to that effect. But, I mean, even crossbows would be great for him at this point. Villagers located in the north by this one knight will snipe a villager. The knight will go down. And military, 3 to 7 right now. And honestly, if we see Pike right away, I think Hannibal's in a great position. Got a ton of eco behind this. Pedar does as well, just the production's not there. He still has regular skirmishers, which are fine at the moment, I suppose, since it is against Feudal Age army, but needs to get the upgrade.
I'd like to introduce everyone watching the games tonight to a broken record, but not only would the tower have decimated all of the eco for Hannibal, but it would also have helped with these spears and helped with these archers and all this pressure that's been coming in from Hannibal this whole game.
Oh, they don't get Thumbring Manta? Gotcha. But yeah, Hitch, broken record, but he's right. Castle, or a Feudal Age tower, walled in right here, would be spectacular. You see the other wood line yet for Hannibal? You don't, because there's not one. so much being brought in right there could have been avoided. Town center behind here for Peter. I think that's a fine town center, but he really needs to get onto wood. Oh, that's actually his third town center. He does have one over here on a food node even. Pikeman upgrade has come in during the broken record speech, and knights with only +1 defense, not that great. Handcart even coming in here for a Khmer player, so he really wants those farms to be working as efficiently as possible. And I hate to say this, but it feels very awkward that we're going to have 3 TCs already, and handcart pretty much immediately for Hannibal, and we just got a 3rd town center up from Pieterdela. Mega
won't. I
House.
love you.
Yeah, Mega House is okay whenever you're massively producing, though. It's not like you're being hurt that badly. You have what is it, 19 pikes on the field right now? Like, and you're building TCs, which add population space. So technically, you were already trying to fix yourself from being housed there.
It is never okay to be housed.
Well, listen, if he's housed because he's massively trying to produce out of all of his buildings, I am okay with that. If he's housed because he's just making builds
Well,
and not paying
but
attention, that's where the problem
here
is.
here's the thing. It's 24 to 14 military. Or sorry, the other way around. Never mind.
Yeah, he has the lead. I mean, he's housed because he is producing so much. So Scorpions here for Franks.
Knight's out of position though.
Yeah, even in position, it's not a great fight for him.
No, I
Good
mean
upgrades from
no.
the Knights.
It would have been good if they were in position in front of the spikes or the scorpions.
Yeah.
Scorpions, instead of running away, could have been shooting that whole time.
Yeah, it would have been better for him for sure.
Well, the thing is, he won the fight as it was. If he was in position, it would have been he would have lost half as many knights.
Yeah. Villager lead, pretty good for Pieterdela at the moment.
Uh, just yeah, it's a nice solid village reliever, but it feels like the power of the Khmer economy is driving this over here.
Well, just look at the eco difference.
Hmm.
Like the food in the bank is over 1100 and skyrocketing here for Hannibal, and this just strength of
Mixing,
Khmer.
yeah, and mixing in a knight here, or sorry, a monk here does so much to restrict the Frank player's mobility. You know, it's just one monk. He can only steal one knight, but you disproportionately respond. You'll run away all day long, away from one monk.
Yeah, it does have another few monks coming out as well. Um, but he could just shift to mass knight production and be in a fine position. Ram gonna take down the siege workshop here as well, so scorpions will not be an option for long. And again, the knights are taking a pretty bad fight here against pikemen. Light or scouts do come in to snipe the monk though, which is quite nice.
Yeah, quick reaction there from Peter to get some scouts out um, on the field for these monks. But with this much monk investment, like have upgrade probably makes sense here.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Hannibal, the food is because you have handcard already, and you have what is this? How many farms? 14 regulars, 5 rice farms. So
Well, but the thing is, there's more on food. There's more farms for Peter. It's the power of the Khmer bonus right here.
yeah, absolutely. 22 on food for Peter compared to 19, and 19 is looking so much nicer with all these bonuses. Are rice farms different? They're called rice farms. That's the only difference that I'm aware of. I don't know if it's any faster or slower or anything like that. In fact,
Functionally, they're the same.
yeah, function. Good way of putting it. Hitch always with the important words there. But I mean, pretty even game here. Honestly, it's looking to be a very interesting one on Nomad Hubs going into Imperial Age, though, is Hannibal already.
Yeah, and it's only being more and more difficult, I think, for the Frank player here. Because as it is, his economy just it hasn't been doing the job. I think it's maybe a balance, not even a balance thing. Both are floating so much wood right now. But here's the thing: Peter's going to get a castle up shortly.
Where, though?
Right where I want those towers. Put it on the land right between those two wood lines, if you can. If you have enough military to push out for a minute. You deny two wood lines, you secure that whole flank of your base. And as it is right now, he has the military advantage to do it.
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
that's the way to go, right by that siege workshop.
it would be very nice, but stand ground here again. We've had a lot of players that's the stand ground issue. All these knights going down here.
Oh yeah, how many of these knights dying because you're not paying attention and oh my goodness.
Yeah. And here comes the Vills, but now there's no lead. It will come down. It probably will go up here.
Trebs aren't going to be an issue because there's no castle, there's very little stone coming from Hannibal, so not an immediate issue. But this is kind of what we saw last game with just the timing from Peter. He waited until he had 750 or more stone to put this castle down. He could have put it down
At
a couple minutes ago.
488.
Exactly. He could have put it down a long time
Yeah,
ago.
Frank
He could
Castle.
exactly. Frank Castle could put down a long time ago. He could have had his knights on defensive ground. It
He
it
can
just feels
afford
like
another one, actually.
yeah. There's just not the sense of urgency that we want to see here.
And he's actually producing throwing axemen now.
And that's not a bad play against
Oh,
this monk.
this is a beautiful castle for Hannibal.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
He can treb from behind it and hit. And it's completely safe.
I mean, there's gaps that you can run in there, but yeah. But yeah, the trebs are going to come in now.
And just with one additional range here from our Khmer player, an excellently placed castle. We do have some knights from Pieterdela running around, and another castle over here on what will be the production buildings here for Hannibal. So Peter is trying to do everything he can with the Frank Castle now, but I think this one might even be denied. Not enough military sent over actually.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of with Hannibal in chat here. I think a castle in your farm space is better when you're facing the Franks because look at these knights just devastating wood lines over here, and they're going to do the same thing to the farms. And this is where the Khmer bonus for farms hurts you. It's these farms
Yeah,
are all so exposed.
that's true.
Like, eh, I love these castles, excluding the fact this other castle's not going to go up because there's no military here. But I think the reason these castles look so good is the reason the towers would have been even better earlier.
Back to the towers. You're not wrong though. Like in all reality, like you are sounding like a broken record, but you're right. A feudal age tower would have caused chaos to the eco. We're talking about like 15 vills that were on that and have to run. But yeah, now we're gonna have another castle here from Hannibal, and this one will go up because he has the military support for it. It's gonna completely deny Pieterdela's castle, and the light cav and the knights
Now, and
are running in.
like they are, but more than that, look at these like have on this wood line. That is, we were just talking about how Peter should be denying wood lines for
Oh yeah,
Hannibal, but now Hannibal will be denying all the wood lines from Peter.
yeah, and the overall population for Peter has fallen quite drastically. I
Yeah,
know we
the
did
GG is going
some.
to be coming in here. There are none on wood for Peter.
Yeah, we had a good
He,
raid there, but there's really nothing he can do from this point now. That castle gets trebbed down. Light cav, soon to be Hussar, I imagine, and another castle. I mean, map control, very big.
where is the military for
GG.
Peter? Okay, GG. Whew.
Yeah, he has enough to go imp twice. He's on his way to imp and has almost 1200 food and 807 gold left. So production buildings really lacking here. I think we only have 2 stables still going
Yeah,
into
lack of
Imperial Age.
more production buildings. He could have raided that eco harder earlier. Imp he could have counter trebbed earlier. Castle, and he could have had a little more momentum. More importantly, more than anything else, early tower wins the game. I think it puts the Frank player in such a lead to have that tower up with the scouts that it would be hard to lose for that position.
Yep. Yep. But Hannibal will move on to the next round. We'll update the bracket very briefly here, but then we have another set to get into, guys. So,
And who will be playing in the next set?
hold on. Let me update delete this before I forget. And look at this. It is the set between so few sets, and I can't still find it. Raskai Ninja and Jempa Ray or Kajempa Ray. I don't know how to pronounce your name, bro. But yeah, that will be the next set. So if you guys are here on Twitch, be sure to stick around because we are going to dive right into that. If you do watch this on YouTube, however, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all those good things, and we'll catch you guys on YouTube later.